Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to do topic 69A of paper 2. 69A of paper 2, and here we will be discussing integrated pest and disease management. So the first topic I am going to discuss today is economic injury level and economic threshold. So you should know economic injury level. Injury level, EIL. The smallest number of insects that will cause yield loss equal to insect management cost. It is the smallest number of insects or you can say amount of injury that will cause yield loss equal to insect management cost. So it is the initial start of injury level, economic injury level. Suppose a cost of 50 rupees is for insect management and the yield loss through insect is also rupees 50. When these two are same, then you will say this is the economic injury level. If the cost of management will be more than the injury, the cost of management of insects will be more than the level of yield loss, then why will we do any management? Because if management is costing more, then what insects will injure or what insects will cause the yield loss? So there is no need of management. So this is what economic injury level is. EILs are usually expressed as a pest density and developed from yield loss. EILs are usually expressed as a pest density, and are developed from yield loss relationship, derived from field research studies, The EIL has been described as a break-even point. This EIL is described as break-even point. Break-even point. The level of pest can tolerate. The level of pest that can be tolerated, or you can say the level of pest a plant can tolerate. So EIL is the break-even point, the level of plant which can be the level of pest a plant can tolerate. Is the break-even point. From the levels EIL, from the levels more than EIL, we need to do pest management. The main thing is, among other things, the main thing is that we want to manage pest population before it reaches EIL. So what we do, we want to manage pest population before it reaches EIL, because if it reaches EIL, it will do some injury. So we need to manage pest management before it reaches EIL. So it is a very important point, you should note it. Now what is economic threshold? Economic threshold. The pest density at which management action should be taken to prevent. It is the pest density at which management action should be taken to prevent an increasing pest population to prevent an increasing pest population before it pest population from reaching EIL. So it is the pest density at which management action should be taken to prevent an increasing pest population from reaching the EIL, where we have to prevent the pest population to reach EIL. So ET, that is economic threshold, is a practical rule used to determine when to take management action. It is a practical rule used to determine when to take management action. So when it reaches to ET, we will have to take management action. In fact, some refers to ET as action threshold. It is also known as action threshold. Action threshold, because it is the level when we start taking action. It is essentially a prediction of which a pest population is going to reach EIL. It is a prediction that pest, if not managed, pest population is going to reach EIL. It is assumed that one ET is reached there, is high probability that the pest population is EIL if no management action is taken. And if ET is reached and no management action is taken, then there is high probability that the pest population will reach to EIL. So these are the things you must know. I hope you understand both economic threshold and economic injury level. Now moving on to the next topic of this session, that is plant disease epidemic. Plant disease epidemic. When a pathogen spreads, what is this? When a pathogen spreads to and affects many individuals within a certain area. When a pathogen spreads and affect many individual within a certain area, and within relatively short time, in certain area and in short time, it is called an epidemic. Or you can say epidemic is defined as an increase of disease in a plant population, an increase in disease of plant population. And for example, you can say Bengal famine is an epidemic. Bengal famine of 1943, so it was an epidemic of brown spot of rice. Epidemic of rice. So this is what epidemic is. Many individuals are affected within a certain area in short time, such as Bengal famine of 1943. Now, what are factors of epidemic, or what are the regions of the disease occurrence? You can say factors of epidemic / disease occurrence. Factors of disease occurrence. Why disease occurs? So there are majorly three factors that this be a disease. It is derived of three factors. First one is susceptible host. Or you can say susceptible crop and cultivation. Susceptible cultivation. Another factor is pathogen, related to pathogen, that is virulent pathogen. Presence of virulent pathogens such as fungi, bacteria, virus, nematodes, mycoplasma, etc. On the next factor is favorable environment for disease. Favorable environment for disease, such as favorable air temperature, favorable soil temperature, favorable pH, favorable rainfall, or you can say precipitation, favorable relative humidity, favorable soil moisture. So these things increase the chances of disease if it gets favorable environment. So moving on, How can you manage plant disease epidemics? Management of plant disease epidemics. First of all is avoidance. First factor is avoidance. Prevent disease by selecting a time of the year. We need to prevent disease by selecting time of a year or site where there is no inoculum or where the environment is not favorable to. By preventing selecting a time, or you can say selecting a site, time or site where there is no chances of inoculum or there is no favorable environment for disease. Suppose the disease grows in high winters, so we will not let the crop to go to high winters. We will, through earliness or through other factors, we will let it harvest before those high winters. Second one is exclusion. It is the prevent the introduction of inoculum. Prevent introduction of inoculum. This is inoculum. Inoculum. So we will have to prevent the introduction of inoculum, that is exclusion. Third one is eradication. Here we have to eliminate, destroy, so it is inoculum. Inoculum. Prevent, destroy or inactivate the inoculum. Inoculum. Or fourth method is protection. Prevent infection by means of a toxicant or some other barriers of infection. To prevent infection, how we can prevent by means of some toxicant or through other barriers through which infection is prevented. We have water resistance. Some part number 5 is resistance. Resistance, that is utilize cultivars that are resistant to tolerant of infection. Utilize cultivars, resistant cultivars, that is they can tolerate the infection. Or you can number 6 you can do therapy. Cure plants that are already affected, that is cure plants that are already affected. So these was the management of plant disease epidemic, or you can say this is integrated disease management. This can be also said as integrated disease management. These factors, through these factors we can do integrated disease management. I hope you understand. Now moving on to the next topic of the session, that is bacterial disease. So first of all, what are the common symptoms of bacterial disease? They are vascular wilt. Common symptoms of bacterial disease are vascular wilt, necrosis, soft rot, tumors, and bacterial disease are influenced greatly by temperature and moisture. Bacteria grows in favorable temperature and moisture. Some examples of bacterial disease are fire blight, soft rot, gravelline wilt, etc. Now how will you control bacterial disease? First of all, we will use pathogen free seed. Pathogen free seed. Example, controlled blights of beans and peas. Example, seeds that has controlled blights of beans and peas. So these seeds of beans and peas will have blights. We will do treatment of seed such as with hot water. This is effective for carrot, cucurbits, etc. We can do crop rotations. This reduces wilt, rot, blight, etc. Let me do this. We will eradicate and exclusion of host plants. We will eradicate and exclude host plants that host these disease, these bacteria. Use of resistant crop varieties. Use of resistant crop varieties. Use of protective insecticidal sprays. Bacterial sprays against blights. You can also follow some sanitary measures. Such as use of clean equipments. We need to destroy volunteer plants, or we can say destroy host plants. So these are some of the sanitary measures. So this was all about for bacterial disease. So I hope you understand the topics today. So that's all for today's. For any queries, do comment. If you like it, please press the like button, do share and subscribe, keep making notes. That's all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.